All right, let's get to Fiifi Kwetey. I saw this video and I was completely flabbergasted. Fiifi Kwetey says Muhammadu Bawumia is a disgrace to the North. Fiifi Kwetey, he says Muhammadu Bawumia is a disgrace to the North. Fiifi Kwetey said it. Fiifi Kwetey was a distinguished minister of agriculture. During his period, the first time in the history of Ghana, agriculture grew at negative. By the time Usufri Akoto came to take over agriculture, agriculture was growing at negative. Under Fiifi, it was growing at negative. That is Fiifi Kwetey's record. He says Muhammadu Bawumia is a disgrace to the North. See the video.
God is giving us again an opportunity to make a choice between two people. And these two people happen to come from the northern part of Ghana. One from the Savannah region, the other one from the northeast. Both of them original northern Ghana. Whereas one is known as a liar who can never tell the truth. The other one can be trusted for what he promises to give you. And northern region, you owe it to Ghana to make sure that that son that represents not your best image, that son that represents a disgrace to the North, should never rise to the leadership of this country, because that will be a disgrace to the whole of the northern region. Northern region, you need to do everything possible to ensure that that son of yours, that is an absolute disgrace and a humiliation to all of you, never rises to become the president of this country. You have been blessed to have a son who can be trusted.
Fiifi Kwetey. Did you see Alhaji Hudu Yaya's body language? Did you see it? Alhaji Hudu Yaya was shocked to the bone and marrow when he heard those words. Everyone clapped when he said you have an alternative in John Mahama. And then he went on a tangent and said, Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace. Fiifi Kwetey. He says Bawumia is a disgrace to the North and that the Northerners should ensure that this disgrace doesn't happen. He said, please, play the smaller one. Play the shorter one. Play that again, the shorter one. Play it.
That son that represents a disgrace to the North should never rise to the leadership of this country, because that will be a disgrace to the whole of the northern region.
You heard him. Fiifi Kwetey here says that Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace. Hey! Why? Politics. This is not politics. This is just wrong. This is just simply wrong. Fiifi Kwetey is not a disgrace. No, by no stretch of the imagination. Fiifi Kwetey is not a disgrace. He's a member of parliament. He's a minister before. He's working. He's a career banker. He's not a disgrace. But should Fiifi Kwetey be able to say, because of politics, that Alhaji Bawumia is a disgrace? Let me have Fiifi Kwetey and Dr. Bawumia's photograph here. Let me have it here. I'll make an illustration. It's a simple question I'm going to ask you viewers. Those of you who can send text, send a text for the answer. So this is Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. This is Fiifi Kwetey, who says that Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace to the North, that he's a disgrace. Fiifi Kwetey says Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace. Now I'm going to put a question, and those of you can respond to social media. Please send us a message on Good Evening Ghana Official on Facebook. If you are a parent, say you are 31, 28, 38, 44, 51, 62. You're a parent and you have a boy. Given your age, if you are 62, maybe your boy is a teenager. If you are whatever, maybe your boy is 9 years, 10 years old, 11, 9, 14. You have a boy. And your boy has a destiny call. And there are two choices. And he needs to choose one. I believe Fiifi Kwetey and Dr. Bawumia are about the same age. Dr. Bawumia is 60. Fiifi Kwetey may be about 55. So let's put the two of them, I say, at age 55. So that Dr. Bawumia goes back like 5 years. Take Dr. Bawumia 5 years back. And you have a boy who is 11. And you have a destiny call. And you have to choose between one of these outcomes for your son. Which one will you choose? Please tell me honestly. You have to choose that your son, who is now 11 or 9, by the time he is 56, he will be like Dr. Bawumia. Or by the time he's 56, he will be like Fiifi Kwetey. Which one are you going to choose? So what's Dr. Bawumia's background? Dr. Bawumia went to Sakasaka Primary School in Tamale. Sakasaka Primary School is not an elite school. It's a basic school. It's an ordinary school. People call it Saito. His father was Mumuni Bawumia, the most distinguished. It didn't matter. They took him to Sakasaka Primary School so that he would learn the ropes. That's where Dr. Bawumia started from. He didn't come there from Sakasaka Primary School with his good grades to go to Achimota and Wesley Girls and Addis Adel. No, he kept faith. His father kept faith with Tamale. He took him to Tamale Secondary School. That's Dr. Bawumia's background, and I'm showing you so that you decide which one you want your son to be like. From Sakasaka Primary School, he went to Tamale Secondary School. That's his background. From Tamale Secondary School, he went abroad to go and do a diploma in accounting. That he studied at, where did he even study the diploma in accounting? He studied the diploma in accounting in Buckingham. No, the degree. He studied a diploma in accounting somewhere in London. He got a diploma in accounting. And then he went to do a degree in economics. He got a first class at Buckingham University. And after that, he studied on to do a master's in economics at the University of Oxford. And then he went over to Vancouver in Canada to do a PhD in economics. And then he came to teach at Wolf Caesar University, something like that. And then he worked at the IMF as an economist. When in 2008, and he came to Bank of Ghana, we know all that. When in 2008, the election was lost, and Dr. Bawumia went out. He was nominated by the IMF to go and advise Robert Mugabe when Mugabe had the crisis. This is the story. Thank you very much. African Development Bank appoints Dr. Bawumia as rep for Zimbabwe. The African Development Bank, the AFDB, appointed Dr. Bawumia to go and represent them in Zimbabwe to be able to work with the Zimbabwe situation. What is disgraceful about this CV? Fiifi Kwetey should tell us what is disgraceful about this CV. Why do Ghanaian politicians try to run themselves down so that people don't even respect politics anymore? You will never find a British politician at the other side of the aisle running another politician down saying he's a disgrace, especially when there's absolutely no basis for it. And especially when his CV is far stronger than Fiifi Kwetey's CV, when they are in the same political enterprise. Fiifi Kwetey should not be able to say Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace, but because of politics, he says it. So we allow it. Politics, so everything is fine. If the two of them are not politicians, where will Fiifi Kwetey hold a candle to Dr. Bawumia's achievements? Where? Because it's politics, so that is it. So we can say anything about anybody. It is not fair. It is not building a great society. It is very wrong. And if it is with the NDC General Secretary, he must eschew that kind of character. It's even unchristian. It is bad. How can you tell us that you, Fiifi Kwetey, if your son becomes like Dr. Bawumia, won't you be happy? If your son becomes like Dr. Bawumia, Fiifi Kwetey should be happy. In fact, if his son becomes like Dr. Bawumia, his son has fulfilled scripture. For the glory of the latter days shall be more than the former. If Fiifi Kwetey's son becomes like Dr. Bawumia, the glory of the latter days has been more than the former. And he stands there to tell us that Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace because it is politics. We can't do politics like that. That is not politics. Politics is not a dirty game. Fiifi Kwetey says Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace because it is politics. You are running an NDC campaign. You are entitled to do so. Run your campaign. He is running an MPP campaign. He's entitled to do so. He will run his campaign. You can say Dr. Bawumia is incompetent. You can say Dr. Bawumia couldn't run the economy. But you cannot tell the people Dr. Bawumia is ready. And I think he didn't understand sociology. Fiifi Kwetey's anthropology doesn't work. You stand in front of Northerners. You tell them that one of their sons is a disgrace. That's why Hudu Yahya was looking like that. That is the reason why Alhaji Hudu Yahya was shocked. Fiifi Kwetey, you are an Ewe from the Volta region. You stand in Tamale and tell the Tamale people that Dr. Bawumia, their son, who has become vice president, who was the governor of the deputy governor of the central bank, who was respected by the African Development Bank, who went to Sakasaka Primary School. Dr. Bawumia is from the loins of the northern people. He went to Sakasaka Primary School. And then from there, he went to Tamale Secondary School. He is truly a northerner who has risen to the occasion. And he has lived his name. He's Mumuni Bawumia's son. You tell them that Mumuni Bawumia's son is a disgrace to the northerners. NDC Communication, please talk to your General Secretary. Oh. Me, I don't mind. But you can't do politics like that. It's an anthropological faux pas. What he did. It's an anthropological faux pas. You stand in front of Northerners and come and tell us, like you come to my village in Kwamo, And what's that NDC man's name? Donko something. I remember it. He was DC for Ejoso under John Mahama. You come to Kwamo and come and tell us that because he's NDC, he's a disgrace. He's our brother. Yes, he's NDC, but he's our brother. Kojo Bonsu is NDC, but he's our brother. So you come to Kumasi, Ashanti region, you are doing MPP campaign. They say, Kojo Bonsu with Jimmy. Hey, you can't come and tell us that Kojo Bonsu with Jimmy. We won't accept it. We will vote against Kojo Bonsu. That is, I'm talking like MPP people will talk. They will vote against Kojo Bonsu. They will. But he's their brother. You can't come and say things like that about him. Dr. Bawumia is a son of the North. He's a true son of the North. If today any Northern chief is calling two of the important sons of the North, Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia will be called. Fiifi Kwetey stands there and tells the Northerners that your son is a disgrace because he thinks he's speaking for NDC. You are from the Volta region. Come and tell the Northerners that your son is a disgrace. Listen to Fiifi Kwetey. Listen to him. Listen to what he said.
That son that represents a disgrace to the North should never rise to the leadership of this country, because that will be a disgrace to the whole of the Northern region.
That's what he said. That's what he said. Fiifi Kwetey. He says Bawumia represents a disgrace to the North. But if Bawumia represents a disgrace to the North, allow the Northerners to say it. Allow the Northerners to say it. Let the Northerners say it. That their Bawumia is a disgrace to them. Let the Northerners say it. Let Idrisu Haruna say it. I bet you Idrisu Haruna can never come out of Idrisu Haruna's mouth. It will never come out of Mahama Yariga's mouth. It will never come out of Muntake's mouth. It will never come out of Hudu Yare's mouth. Fiifi Kwetey. Fiifi Kwetey has the effrontery. Go to Tamale and stand there. Tell them, son, disgrace. Their son, one of their few sons who went to Oxford University to inspire the children in the North. That you can hear of Oxford University as the best university in the world. Don't be frightened. Dr. Mumuni Bawumia's son went to school there. This is their family house. You can go and ask his mother. Go and ask his auntie. He went to school there. He can help you to go to school in Oxford. Don't be frightened by Oxford University. If you are in Sakasaka Primary School, don't be embarrassed. Don't be frightened. Don't think that you cannot achieve Harvard, because Bawumia went to Sakasaka Primary School and he went to Oxford. An NDC man will tell his son that, look at Alhaji Bawumia, he's the vice president. He became the deputy governor at the central bank. He came from here, Sakasaka Primary School. He was here, and then he went to Oxford. Fiifi Kwetey thinks all of that profile represents the word disgrace. That he can say that Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace because it is politics. Politics. Because it is politics. He can say Dr. Bawumia is a disgrace. We don't want that kind of. We certainly don't want that. We want a politics that represents a debate. Fiifi Kwetey was opposed to a policy that has now educated, with the taxpayers' money, 1.8 million Ghanaians. Fiifi Kwetey was opposed to that policy. He was opposed to the policy. The policy that has now educated 1.8 million Ghanaians. He was opposed to it. He even called it a lie. See the video.
When today you are hearing Nana Akufo-Addo and the MPP going all over the country shouting free SHS, free SHS, free SHS. That is what you call all lie be lie.
And Fiifi Kwetey opposed this policy, and 6 years down the line, the policy that he opposed has now educated 1.8 million Ghanaians. He grew agriculture as negative, and he has the effrontery to call people like Muhammadu Bawumia, who wrote that free SHS policy, put it together with the government, Akufo-Addo Bawumia policy that has educated 1.8 million people, and we still think that the government is a failure. Akufo-Addo government is a failure. Akufo-Addo government, yes, the world is difficult. I mean, show me, and we keep asking them, show me one country in the world that is doing well post everything that has happened from 2020 to 2022. Show me one country. It's a very difficult situation, and all of us are upset. Everybody's angry. But when we have to look at voting, we need to vote for our future. We can't vote on anger because, well, if it's anger of the government doing something wrong, vote against them. But show me what's happening globally. Where is any government doing well? Show me that in 2018, 2019, Akufo-Addo Bawumia economics was bad. Then I'll believe you, because they inherited an economy from Fiifi Kwetey and John Mahama that was growing at 3.4, and consistently they grew it at an average of 8. Until COVID. Before COVID, show me that the government was wrong. Show me. Where was it? Where could anybody see? In fact, during COVID, it was said that that guy did a video and said that by June, the NDC egu. You remember that video? That theater house boy, very clever boy. Build up a video. Because everybody said at this rate, the NPP doesn't have an opposition. Because 2017, 18, 19, people saw what Akufo-Addo government was able to achieve. And then the politics comes in, and then we are all suffering. So yes, of course, when we are all hungry, we are hungry and we are angry. And a hungry man is an angry man, Bob Marley said. So yes, that works. But if we are going to vote, let us vote for the future. Let's not go back. Vote for the future.